A startup presentation or pitch deck is one of the most important parts of your Startup Portugal application. You send it to the incubators via the application platform, by email, and also pitch it during the online meeting with them. So it should be straight to the point, well-structured, and visually minimalistic. In this video, we'll discuss how to do it, what tools you can use to create it, and what are the most common mistakes. We made it through the Startup Portugal process and already got our residence cards, so I want to share our experience. We had over 20 positive responses on the platform and 12 calls with the incubators where I pitched our project. So the idea and the intention of this video is to make you feel well prepared once you apply for the program and that you know what to expect when having your first video calls with the incubators. Like this video to support my content on YouTube, and let's go! Let's start with a general review of the program criteria to get a better understanding of the perspective of incubators and the IAPMEI, so how they will be looking at your project. These are the screenshots from the legislative order and Q&A file, and basically what they say is that you can either have the intention to develop a business in Portugal or you relocate an existing business from your home country. The most important points are the potential of your idea and the motivation. They need proof of what makes your business innovative and scalable, how is it going to work, what technology you use, and what is the business model. So they accept projects at any stage of their development. You may have just an idea, or you already have the MVP, or you had a successful launch in some other country. In any case, the type of presentation and its core will be the same. The only difference is, of course, in numbers, whether you just go with the assumptions or you already know more or less your business model. With this information, we are ready to go to the pitch deck creation, and after it, we'll go through the most common mistakes. And a short disclaimer, everything I'm saying in this video comes from my personal experience and my interpretation of the program's criteria, so it's not the only or the best way of doing something, but rather an idea and inspiration for you. So all in all, a pitch deck is a very short form of presentation with 8 to 12 slides. Yet you have to be able to wrap up your entire idea in a simple visual and written language. And keep in mind that it's not only the people from the business industry who will be looking at it, but also governmental workers who make sure your project meets the formal criteria. And now we'll go slide by slide, and I will tell you more what and how you should write in them. To create good-looking presentations, I always use Canva. Here you don't have to start it from scratch, which is always so confusing. You just go and choose from hundreds of different templates they have. So now I type pitch deck and click on the design that fits my project. Let's see this one. And then I apply all pages, and later I can delete some of them, adjust all text and visual elements, and then download it in any format. Enjoy! So slide number 1 is your opening slide. Here you have the name of your company, the logo if you have it, and a few words describing it or giving an idea of the topic. Then slide number 2 is the problem. It should be really understandable for all, so test it on someone who is not in your industry and kind of sell the problem first, and then convince that it's important. So convince that you know your target audience and what and how they think and feel about it. The next slide is the solution. So what you suggest to do to make a change. And the more obvious and logical it sounds, the better. Because not everybody can understand very complicated tech solutions. So you should be able to explain everything in a very simplified way. And then you can either stick with this slide to show what you do, or you can add one more slide with your USP, so unique selling proposition. So I will call it 3A because it's optional. just if you want to emphasize what you do. And it's not very clear on the solution slide, so you can just edit and say, hey, here's our company, we do this and that. But you can already see what I'm showing you here. Slide number 4, your target audience, who you will be selling your product to. If it's B2B, describe what companies. If it's B2C, describe clients, where they live, what they do. In our case, it's actually C2C. So in our speech, we were covering the problem solution scenario for both types of our users. So mainly focusing on those who will be paying on the platform, but still we had to explain where do we bring the supply. So the types of clients who will be giving the service, and then the types of clients who will be buying the service. So yeah, that's a bit more complicated, but anyway, you need to make it really compact in your presentation. You guys often ask me questions about the startup application process, like where to start, what to do, how I can help you. So here's my advice to you. Start with reading the official info. You can find all the links in my description box, and here's the website. Then you can also watch my previous videos, because I already covered such topics as application timeline and filling out the application form. I'm pretty sure that they are useful and you should definitely watch them. In general, with my channel, I'm promoting self-application because I believe that as a startup founder, you should be able to present your project by yourself and also have a pitch. And of course, if you need my help and consultation, just contact me on Instagram. And for now, let's continue with the topic. Slide number 5, the size of the market. Here you should put info about the general market where your company is going to fit in with all the other players in this market. And I'm not going to focus on this topic today, but if you just Google acronyms TAM, SAM, and SOM, you'll definitely have a better understanding how it works. But normally the statistics for the total markets for TAM are available, so you just need to search for it carefully and you'll definitely have it. So like for us, it was the total markets of all study abroad services and companies in the world. And then you just narrow it down to your specific niche or geographic area. So for this middle circle, you may not find an exact number, but you can calculate it using some additional values like percentages or something like this. And then with the smallest circle, you show what market share your business can obtain. And here you can calculate the numbers using your business model. Slide number 6, competitive advantage. So here you should make a table or do something visually attractive to show that you know your competitors and according to what criteria your solution is better. And if you say there are no competitors, this is kind of suspicious unless you explain that there are no direct competitors and you use some brand new fantastic approach or whatever. So just really think carefully about this. Slide number 7, revenue model. Here you should explain how you're going to make money or what exactly you're selling. So it's not always a product, right? It can be also the subscription, can be the commission that you're taking from something, or contract-based revenue if it's B2B, I don't know. Slide number 8, perspectives or forecasts. This is just a visual interpretation of what you calculated in your business plan. And keep in mind that the Startup Visa Portugal official criteria is that the project has the potential to make at least 325K by the end of the 5th year. So you should definitely show it in your picture. Slide number 9, team. Here you just put pictures of all people in your team, the roles, the experience description, and you only put the people who apply for the program. And if you have some additional team members but who are not coming to Portugal, you just list them shortly without giving much information. And finally, slide number 10, roadmap. This was our complimentary slide because after a couple of calls with incubators, we realized that they actually all ask about it, like what are you going to do now? What are you going to do when you come to Portugal? What do you need from us? Like what kind of help? So I would really recommend making it, and it will help you to answer their questions during the online meetings. Now let's talk about the do's and don'ts. So the do's. First, draw up a business plan, study the size of your market, calculate how you will be making money, study your competitors, and of course, the problems of your future customers. Number 2, create MVP and test as many things as possible beforehand. Firstly, because your application will look more competitive, you will know your numbers and some proof that the problem is real. And secondly, which is just my position, it's a safer plan to go to a new country with more or less concrete plan and increase the chance of skyrocketing with your project. Number 3, when you pitch for the incubator, try to make it no longer than 10 minutes. It's often the case that they only have 30 minutes for the entire meeting, so you don't want the entire meeting to be just your speech. Number 4, you can always start with a story. So watch some TED Talks or some accelerators, open days, how people pitch there, get inspired and start nicely. And the don'ts. Don't present your product instead of the whole business. It's a mistake of so many entrepreneurs when you start pitching and selling your product. So better focus on numbers and strategy to show that you actually understand how the whole money-making machine will work. Number 2, avoid using complicated industry-specific words. It can be in some parts of your application, but definitely not in the pitch deck. And number 3, don't put a lot of text in the slides, whether or not you pitch it verbally. I hope this information will help you guys with your startup application. Wish you the best of luck and see you in the next videos.